Good day everyone, I'm Alvin J.D. Relatado. In this video, I'll be explaining the CMO 3-2022 and Section 2, 10, 11, 12, and 18. Section 2, Administrative Provisions, basically lay down the rules and conditions that govern how customs bonded warehouse operate. These rules make sure that all goods entering, stored in, or withdrawn from customs bonded warehouse are properly monitored, accounted for, and compliant with customs laws. They deal with the movement, storage, importation, and withdrawal of goods, as well as the responsibilities of warehouse operators and accredited members. The provisions are designed to prevent smuggling, tax evasion, and misuse of the bonded warehouse privilege, while supporting legitimate exporters and manufacturers. Section 2.1 General Considerations. Section 2.1.2 Transfers of goods. Goods entering customs bonded warehouse must pass non-intrusive inspections at port before transfer. Section 2.1.2 Storage period. Max for 1 year bonded goods and 3 months for perishable goods, extendable for another 3 months with a valid reason. Section 2.1.3 Allowable importations. Only raw materials and quantities approval in customs bonded warehouse license may be imported. Section 2.1.4 Finished goods. Not allowed unless used for making another export product with approval. Section 2.1.5 Restricted or regulated goods. Required proper permits, otherwise subject to seizure or forfeiture. Section 2.1.6 Withdrawal of local sales. Allowed only with approval and tax payment limited to 30% of imports except for private customs bonded warehouse. Section 2.1.7 Withdrawals for subcontracting. Allowed tax-free if approved. Only with accredited subcontractors. All finished goods and wastage must be returned to customs bonded warehouse. Section 2.1.8 Prohibited importation by ICBW. Non-importation of fibers, yarns, fabrics, and accessories for garments manufacturing. Section 2.2 Common Customs Bonded Warehouse or CCBW and accredited members. Section 2.2.1 Exporters can only be linked into one mother customs bonded warehouse. CCBW. Section 2.2.2 Must keep paper records or book and secure imported materials. Section 2.2.3 Withdrawal. Section 2.2 Common Customs Bonded Warehouse and accredited members. Section 2.2.1 Exporter can only be linked to one mother warehouse or common customs bonded warehouse. Section 2.2 Must keep proper records, books, and secure imported materials. Section 2.2.3 Warehouse must be accessible to customs with mission order. Section 2.2.4 All goods for transfer must pass through the common customs bonded warehouse operator unless exempted. Section 2.2.5 CCBW operator is responsible for accreditation for all imports of its members. Section 2.2.6 Members inactive for 1 year equals accreditation automatically terminated. Section 2.2.7 Transfer of membership cannot be used to extend storage periods. Section 2.2.8 Goods transferred within the same common customs bonded warehouse cannot reset storage periods. Section 2.2.9 Semi-finished or finished products can only transferred within the common customs bonded warehouse only if further processed for exportation. Section 2.2.10 WSAD must be filed with goods and transferred to another common customs bonded warehouse members. Section 2.2.11 Subsequent transfer to other member after first sale are not allowed. Section 2.2.12 All transfers or sale must be approval by the district collector. Section 2.2.13 is common customs where the warehouse members are jointly liable for liquidation of goods. Section 2.2.14 common customs by the warehouse members buyers are jointly liable in any case of sale or transfer. Next is Section 10. Lodgement, filing, and processing of the goods declaration for the transfer of goods to CBW. Its purpose is that to ensure that all goods transferred to customs by the warehouse are properly declared, verified, and monitored under customs revision. Types of transfer. Direct filing of WSAD in the same district. CBW operator files a warehousing single administrative document or WSAD through the E2M system. Account officer validates if goods are allowed and within approved limits. Customs checks a supporting document, which is bill of lading, invoice, packing list, permits, and etc. Goods are assessed, duties and tax are charged to the bond account via ABMS. Movement of goods truck using e-truck system. Customs guard escorts LCL cargo. Warehouseman logs goods upon arrival at CBW. Second is transfer through transit between different districts. Operators files a transit single administrative document or TSAD via E2M. Customs verifies document and registered TSAD. Containerized goods truck using e-truck duties and tax charges to GTSB bond. Upon CBW arrival, warehouseman acknowledge receipt and updates tags arrive. WSAD must be filed within 5 days after transfer for approval of a record. No unloading until WSAD is filed. Key system use. E2M system, online filing and processing of entries. E-truck systems, trucks, container movement, prevent diversion. ABMS automatically charges duties and tax to the CBW operators bond. Essentials of Section 10. Section 10 provides a step-by-step process of declaring and transferring imported goods into CBW, ensuring control, accountabilities, and transparency in warehousing operators while facilitating trade. Next is Section 11, withdrawal of bonded goods. Its purpose is that to ensure all withdrawals of goods from customs by the warehouse are properly documented, authorized, and supervised by customs. The main concept is that goods stored in CBW can be withdrawn only for approved purposes. Production, transfer, export, or sale. Withdrawal must be followed the first in, first out system for accurate inventory tracking. All movement are recorded, monitored, and supported by proper document. Types of withdrawal. First is for production. Raw materials taken for manufacturing, export product for subcontracting. Second is for subcontractors or members. Materials transferred to accredited partners must return with a set period. Third is for sale or transfer. Products sold or moved between warehouses to the free zone locators with approval. Fourth is for export. Finished goods sold for exporters for direct exportation. Fifth one is for local sales or consumption. Allowed only with approval of the district collector and after paying duties and taxes. Section documentation required. Requisition slips or withdrawal form, transfer note, boat note, authorized to sell if applicable, constructive export, or warehousing declarat, customs supervisions. All withdrawals are checked and monitored by warehouseman, account officers, customs guard if under guard transfer. Section 11 ensures safe, legal, and transparent withdrawal of goods from CBW. It balances trade, facilitation, and strict customs control and accountabilities. Next is Section 12, direct exportation of bonded goods. This section explains that rules and procedures when a customs bonded warehouse operate export goods directly from the warehouse, either finished or semi-finished products. The goal is to ensure that exports are properly declared, examined, documented, and monitored by the Bureau of Customs to prevent smuggling and maintain accurate trade record. Number 1 is, what does it mean? A CBW operator can export goods directly or indirectly, constructively through sale or transfer bonded goods to another CBW, free zone locators, accredited client, end user, or other accredited members of the same CBW. This allows flexibility in trade while keeping customs control over bonded materials. Second is notice of inspection. Before export, the CBW operator must notify customs WAD at least two days before loading. Custom examiner will inspect the goods to ensure that match the documents. Once verified, the examiner designs the cargo inspection, which confirms the goods are ready for export. Copies for the CI are then distributed to concerned office for record and control. Third one is export declaration and documentation. The CBW operator must file an export declaration EDSAD through the E2M system before loading. Documents usually required include exportation declaration, cargo inspection, invoice, packing list, permits, or license if needed. Customs officer check at all documents are complete and accurate before granting authority to load. Fourth one is customs supervision and container procedures. Once approved, the warehouseman oversees the stuffing, loading of goods into containers. The container is sealed with shipping seals for security. If cargo is containerized, customs use the e-truck system to track movement electronically. If goods is LCL, less than container load, it transfers to a warehouse facility warehousing CFW. It transfers to Customs Facilities Warehouse CFW for consolidation under Customs Guard supervision. Fifth one is transfer between different districts. If the CBW and port of loading are in different customs district, a transit SAD, TSAD, is used instead of EDSAD. The shipment is registered and assessed through the ATM system, transferred under e-truck, tracking, or customs guard escort. The port of loading then handles the export declaration and loading approval. 6 is the final steps, confirmation of export. After goods loaded into the vessel or aircraft, a cargo loading CIL report is prepared to signed by the inspector. Copies of the CIL are distributed to the CBW operators and concerned officers within 24 hours of official liquidation and records. In summary, Section 12 ensures that all exports from CBW are properly examined and documented, filed and approved through the customs system, supervised and secured during transport and loading, records accurately and liquidation of bundles. It promotes trade facilitations while maintaining customs control, transparency, and security in export operations. And the last one is Section 18, Supervision and Closure of CBW. Its purpose is that to ensure not only active and compliant CBW operator under customs supervision and that those violating rules are properly sanctioned. Grounds for closure. CBW can close for voluntary closure by the operator, false or incomplete renewal information, failure to renew license, inactive for more than 1 year, allowing illegal activities, unauthorized regulation or layout changes, illegal or undocumented withdrawals of goods, violating of customs rules and regulations. Third one is procedures. District collector issues a closure order, warehouse inspections, divisions, seals the warehouse, and assigned guards operators. Must surrenders all records and documents, inventories of all goods imported, raw materials, finished products is conducted. After closure, all goods are placed under customs custody until duties and tax are paid. Operators pays for warehouse security and supervision fees, no refund for paid fees. Accountability continues even after closure. Penalties based on the KO1-2022, violating operators face sanctions or permanent revocation. In summary, Section 18 protects the integrity of the customs systems by ensuring that CBW follows all laws, non-compliance or inactive warehouse are closed, investigated, and held accountable.